start doing a little bit there, but I don't think you got here. That's another thing. You got to be in the frame of mind. You got to be in the right frame of mind. You have to be saying, I'm gonna trade. I'm gonna trade. You know. But
What's the indicators
but
again?
this one right here that's made a freaking ton of money and still making money.
The one-
Now this one down here, look, I had put this one on earlier this morning. Look, it went from here where I said this one was gonna go. I put this one on, and this one on right here this morning, remember? So this one would have been gone. That would have been a $200 loss. This one would still be making money, and right here I would have gotten, between this one and this one, I would use this to get out, so this one to get out. So this one would probably make $2,000. And now I'm in this one now. See, I'm in this one and waiting on it to go back up. So see, I picked the spot that it would turn before it got there.
Mm-hmm.
I picked the spot that this would turn when it was way back up here. So this supply and demand, nobody don't need to tell me this supply and demand don't work. It works. But you just gotta know how to find it. See, this thing, look where I had to go to find that. That's where I made it. That's where I made my decision that this made me think they're gonna eventually go over here and come down and hit that. And what did they do? They did it. So I did this. I went back and I don't know when. I might have done this morning. I could have maybe done this yesterday. But see, sometimes, like I say, you may have to go back 6 weeks to find the correct pocket. See, I couldn't use this. I couldn't use this right in here because, well, it hadn't been hit yet because this was hit today, I'm sure, right in here. But anytime something's been hit, see, like this right here, now, you can't say, well, this is a good pocket. When they leave here, they'll come back and they'll be there again. No, this is gone. This one's gone. See how deep they got in there?
Where's my indicators?
All right, the first indicator is system number 1. And let's see if that's how it's listed. Hang on a minute. Yeah, it's a time series forecast with WMA. Yeah, that's it.
And that's the system number 1?
That's
The one that comes out, see, I just put it on again, and it's at the bottom now, along with the one at the top. See the one at the top, system number 1? So I just put it on, and yes, that's how it's gonna show up on your report. Now,
the other one's just RSI.
and then the other one, there's so many RSIs, you will need to get the one I'm talking about. Relative Strength Index, and there's nobody doing anything, so let's go there and just see. Let's go see how many RSIs they got. Up. All right, so relative strength index, that's the one you want. So it's gonna come up right here, look. Relative strength index, they got a relative vigor, a relative volatility, a relative volume at time, relative strength index divergence. All them are way too much clutter. You got this one right here. It's just gonna say relative strength index. See all these? It's got somebody that built Lux Alder. He does a lot. But see, all these people right here have made a relative strength type stuff. And what I would do is I said, well, these down here, 900 something and all that stuff, I ain't looking at them, but I get up here and I see a guy that's 2.8, 2.8,
4K,
4K.
3.9 was good.
Yeah. So now you can read all about this thing here. This is what it's all about. Short answer made, blah, blah, blah. It tells you how to act, work it. To see all that stuff that's got these colors on it, all that, it's too much stuff. Now some people, I'm sure would love that. 4,000 people check it out. So a lot of people go, but it just here, the reading of them sometimes, just is good. But
Nothing's gonna put it anyway.
but the system number one, and then the straight showing up RSI. And, so let me get rid of this. And when you get right here, see, to get right here, you can turn them on and off, watch, right?
Hide or not,
Yeah, that hides it, but I'm gonna try, that thing's jumping around, I don't know what. Oh, I need to be on that one, that's why.
no, you can do it anyway.
No, what I'm saying, to keep it from jumping around, Tony was telling me it's because you're on this one, and it's trying to pick up both the screens,
Oh,
but. But here it is, there the two of them are.
So your system number one is the one up top.
Yeah,
The
but
weighted
it was
moving
called, what
average.
was it called?
Time series forecast
Okay.
and weighted moving average.
Time series 4K. But it just shows up, the system number one.
Okay.
See, the rest of these, if that zigzag, Globex, and all that, they're gonna say that. They're not gonna say what this says and then something different. And that's the only one I've seen it, actually, when you click on it, you go over here. But what it's doing, see, is this is all written up. See, right here, you turn it on and off. Right here, you go here, and this is settings. So see, if I wanted to change the colors,
what is that?
I wanted to change the color, see, I got. Yeah, I can just, line thickness, back step depth. When you get this, you can go online, like on YouTube, and it'll say tutorials for Trading View. Or,
Can I
just
let
go
you
to
know that?
tradingview.com and just pick out their education, and it's got, but see, you can change the colors and all that.
Tony's dog wants out.
Open the door.
Okay, I mean, the gate was open though.
Yeah, that's fine.
But see this right here? I mean, I set that up. I set all this up way before any of this happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the way you get that supply and demand is, this guy, this is, so you're going up. Don't care what color. And all these are closing.
Outside of utility.
This one, I don't even have it. That one didn't even, that was where, when I looked at the end of the time, it didn't even have a shadow or a wick. So all these are green candles, and this one closes, opens, closes, opens, closes, opens, closes, not open down here, but open here, right?
Yeah.
That was just the low of the period. This is the high of the period. So all of these are closing outside. That's your 3 white soldiers there. They're the same size, and they're closing, and then it does this right here. Goes here. I'm trying to draw the same thing. It goes here. That is a what?
Base.
Base.
Yeah,
That's
because it's
the base.
inside.
All right. All right.
Go.
3 white soldiers, base 3 white soldiers. So what would you say, where is this demand zone?
The demand zone.
Right here on the base.
Right here. Okay? All right, now, what I'm thinking is, this is my deal. It's gonna do this right here. Then it's gonna go up from here. So I don't, just because this is going up, I don't say I'm gonna jump in and ride. No, I don't do that. That's chasing camels. That's stupid. Why not just wait 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes? I'm looking at something else. I just got, what I got is I've got a little thing I hit an X, it says send an alert, and you can put it, on your phone, but you can also, it'll pop up on that computer, beep, 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 and you'll say, oh, get off YouTube. It's getting close to my end off YouTube. So I get off at YouTube or the toilet where I'm at and go running.
Go running.
Because it's coming down and now I've not set this up. You know,
You just wait for it to come back.
if I was going to play golf, I would put this in. I would put this in
Because you got a base.
as a lawn. And I put it in, I want to enter here. And this is my target would be here, actually a little bit below that, because it might go in there and turn. So my target would be here, and my stop would be
Even.
right down at the bottom of this is what I usually put it, so my stop would be there. Now I'd go play golf. But I don't do that. If I'm sitting on the toilet, my thing goes off, I'm going, oh, and I'm waiting on this to come down, and it hits my alert, and this is going across here. So this is my entry. If I'd set it right, remember I would have set it right there. So I'm waiting on this thing to come down into it, and now I say, okay, I'm gonna catch it when it comes out. And, cause what if I had set it and it got me in right there, and it did this right here?
You just
Then went
got
up and took out my stop. So I just lost 100, this could be 100, 200, whatever that is right there. But whatever it is, that's it. You can't say, well, I'm just gonna take half of it. That ain't the base. If you don't take it all, it's gonna do that to you a lot more time. You could do that. You could just say, well, I'm gonna take that and put my stop right there. I ain't gonna lose $20. You ain't gonna get in a whole lot of winning trades. You're just gonna lose a lot of $20. Because it's gonna come, if you will look over there, it usually just, lots of times, just barely tick it. It'll come down here, and I think the first day I said, son, when I missed one, I showed you him, I said, I missed it by one tick. 1/4 of a point, it would have dropped that much more. And I had taken the base instead of week to week. So, you know, it's just sometimes I just think I should go base to week, on top of the bar to bottom, but usually it's week to week. But anyhow, so see, it can come in. So what I'm doing is I'm waiting on it to come back out. If it did go in there, I'm just waiting on it to come back out. And once it comes out, if it ever does that, it wiped out that zone. There's nothing left there. But sometimes it'll do a little pullback and take off. So I'll wait on it. Once it goes out, I'm not getting in it because all this is that was a bad zone, in other words. It's a bad zone. So if it comes in and then goes back out, that's a confirmation that it's still diving in there. So I'll still get in right here. Boom. And then I'll
Let it
do it
run.
like this. So, but that's the point of setting up a thing. And then at the same time I'm doing that, you know, when this is doing this, I'm over here looking, you know, over here for a supply. So that this supply, when it hits it, it's gonna go. So what I would have done, I guarantee you, I would have had something over here supply, and this one went there, and I would have been in a short right here anyway. But now I had to wait 25 minutes on that one. Well, I said wait 25 minutes for this one, and maybe 15 for that one.
And you're
You
only
can be in a
talking,
long and a short at the same time.
but you're only talking S&P futures when you're talking
No,
about
I'm talking about this is the stock market.
anything.
The stock market works on stock. This is not futures. This is candles, and they're based on the stock market. The type of trading I do is futures trading. But when you call me and you say, what do you think that thing's gonna do? I looked at that stock and
But
what I did,
this is the analysis.
I looked at the stock and I said, look, I saw this, and the price was here, $4, $5, something, and I think it was 7 or something, and I said, there's a demand at 650, so I think it'll come back to 650, is what I told. So that was not
like
futures.
635 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah. Days later.
yeah. So, it just tends, but until you learn to pick those up, okay, see, like, if I'm looking at this right here, look at that, what that thing did right there. Man, when I said this one right here lost me money, Cause I lost, look, he's come back up there and hit it and back down again. So you could have stayed in these three trades. One, you could have lost one trade, this one right here.
So that's three separate trades, that's not a butterfly or anything like that?
No, this is where I says, and it ain't come back yet.
And you're,
Remember this little thing here?
you're short in there.
And I said, this right here is no longer any good because this long wick took it out.
Yep.
But, there's a but there, that long wick was on an announcement, 10 o'clock announcement.
Yep.
So
Right.
I think myself, this has still got some validity. Normally, if that was just a normal candle with about that much wick and it came all the way through that zone,
Because that was a wood.
zone was whacked out. When they went in there, they got it all. See, when they go into the bottom right here, or to the top of this wick, they get 2 t-shirts, 4 t-shirts, 8 t-shirts, 10 t-shirts, 12 t-shirts, 14. They ain't no more. They gotta go get some more. Do you follow me? So the deeper they go into the zone, the less product there is. So when it barely touches like a supply like this with a rally base drop and one little bitty small doji up there like that, then this thing come in, an instant retest, went back out, and that would have been, wow, what a beautiful run. But it started down here, and all they knew right in here, they knew this 10 o'clock meeting was coming. When the 10 o'clock meeting came, it took out everybody that thought it was on a good run.
Yeah.
And so, to me, since that was an announcement candle, I still think this is valid.
Right.
I mean, I wish I could leave it on this, the mic can, I don't know, leave it on this thing and just see if it don't come back here and turn. And, but here, you could have had this one on, set it and forget it, and then put this set and forget it. You'd have lost here, you'd have won here, you'd won here, and then if you came back home, you could say, well, I'm gonna just get back in there. You wouldn't. But if you did, look, you'd have a win and a lose. One of them won, one of them lose. You'd have a win here and a win here. So that was some pretty good strategy there. And if you look at this right here and follow that out, the crossing and this, that would also be the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good feeling. You're just kind of, this to me would be called going with the flow trading. I'm just kind of watching something that happened to make me react. What I did here was I reacted waiting on something to happen.
Yeah.
This is something
Yeah.
happened and then reacting.
Yep.
You follow me?
I'm following you.
Talking stocks and stuff from local.
So you just get that.
Strategies and setups.
And then you get this paper trading. See, when you get the first get on here, you're gonna get that, it's gonna say trading, and then all these different platforms come up.
Oh, it's just me. Family review.
Once you go live, and you can hook to one of them, of course, you have to put some money in that.
Right. But
Or-
initially, you can paper trade and look at it for free,
See
right?
what I can
Trade
do.
on this, with a free account too, you just don't get
Yep.
maybe 1 or 2 indicators,
With you, William?
and
I don't
one
know.
I think
I'm gonna
it
play
said,
by ear,
the
but
one that
you gotta have your mind
the
right.
one that was like $12 and something a month,
But I'm gonna turn
that
this
might
way.
be now what used to be free, I don't know.
Mhm.
Because I didn't notice a free one on there.
Yeah.
But you could look at the charts for free, because I did get the charts that came up. But
Yeah, it's
so
all
you get
good.
in that, and you don't have to buy.
Yep, we went to Franklin's at dinner, and $170 New York strip A5 Wagyu.
Because I'm telling you right now, that's what this
It
is.
was awesome.
The young people are trading.
Yes. So
The young people are smarter than the
I
old
let Grayson
people.
take a piece of his face.